Hi, in this session we'll discuss formats. Now, formats are different options which are applied to cells or values within those cells, and they just change the appearance of either those cells or those values. Now, in one of the previous sessions, we had used some of these formatting options using the home toolbar. In this session, we'll look at some more options using the home toolbar, and at the same point of time, we'll also look at different ways by which formatting options can be used. So one is definitely the home toolbar. Now let's say I've got some values over here. So this is in a number format and this is in a currency format. Let's say I want to highlight this cell with some color. So I'll go over here and I can select any color I want. Let's say I select this. Let's say now I want to change the font color as well. So let's select yellow. Similarly, I can change the font type as well. So over here right now it's Calibri. What if I select Algerian? You can see the change over here and you can also compare it with this. Let me just zoom it a bit so it becomes more easier for you to compare the two fonts. So this is Algerian and this is Calibri. Similarly, let's I want to change the font size. Let's make it even bigger. Let's keep it to 16. So this is 16, this is still 11. Let's change this all to 16. So you can see the difference. Now let's zoom out. Okay, now we had also looked at some of these alignment options. This is for left align, this is for center align, this is for right align, this is for top align, middle align, and bottom align. Now without looking at some examples, it won't make much sense. So let's select these cells. Using this option merge and center, I can merge all these cells together. So let's merge all of them together and then let's have a table around these cells. So now I've got this one big cell which is a combination of different cells, and you can see that the name box over here just shows K13, which was the first cell of this selection. Now let's type anything over here. So right now this is center aligned and this is bottom aligned. Let's see if I change it to middle align, how it changes the appearance over here. Similarly, if I do it a top align, align left, center line we already saw, and then right line. So these are the different options by which you can change the alignments. Similarly, let's see what this does. So this just puts all the text as vertical rather than horizontal. Similarly, let's look at angle counterclockwise. Excel is good. Angle clockwise. Let's look at rotate text up and rotate text down. Now wrap text. Supposedly I've got a lot of text in one cell itself. So right now, because there is no particular value in this cell, whatever we've written in this is sort of overflowing over to this cell. But if we have anything over here, so now we are not able to read properly what is written over here. So let's say when I click on wrap text, so everything I can see now in one cell itself. Then I can, using the alignment options, I can change the alignment over here to make it more readable. Now I've got this number over here 2345 and I want to change it to a currency format. So I'll go over here, I'll click on the drop down and I've got these different options which I can use. Let's select the currency one. So it automatically puts a dollar sign and adds two decimals at the back of it. If I want to have a pound sign, instead of a dollar sign, I'll go over here and I'll select Pound English. Similarly, you can look at more accounting formats by clicking on accounting, or you can click on currency also, and then you can go through all these different formats. Now, decimal places, this increases decimals and this reduces decimals. Now, let's say I want to get rid of the decimals over here. So this helps me in getting rid of the decimals. Conditional formatting is something which we will be going in depth in the next session. Now, this is one of the ways by which we can do a lot of formatting using the home group. Similarly, there are other ways also by which the same formatting can be done. But before jumping onto those options, let me just give an example of Format Painter again. I've got this format over here, and let's say I want to copy the same format of this cell to this cell. So I'll go to this cell, I'll click on Format Painter, and I'll go to this cell and then do a click again. So now the format gets copied automatically. Now let's say I've got this value also, and I want to again replicate the same format over here to these cells. I'll go over here again. Now I'll have to click twice. Let's say I've got two more values over here. Now if I just click on Format Painter once, right after clicking on this cell, when I'll go on this cell, the Format Painter option is already gone. So to make it sort of everlasting, you need to click on it twice, and in order to escape from it, or in order to remove Format Painter, you just need to click on Escape button. Now let's look at the other two options of formatting cells. So one is when you select a bunch of cells or even one cell and you do a right click, you have these options over here, this small toolbar. This is also very similar to the toolbar which you see in the home group. It has got options of bold, italic, center alignment, or fill color, font color. You've got the font type, sizes over here. Similarly, you can increase font, decrease font size, change the number formats and everything, similar to the home group. So we won't be going into these options because these are very much similar to what we've just gone through. Now, when you do a right click also, you get this particular drop down as well. When you click on format cells, a format cells dialog box gets opened. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and I do a right click, format cells, number, it's already number. So let's put a comma. So as you can see, it adds a decimal point and it also adds a comma after the 1000. Let's again do a right click, format cells. Let's change it to some other currency. Indian currency. So this adds the Indian currency symbol R. Then again, let's do a right click. Let's look at some other options as well. So I've got the accounting, which is very much similar to the currency over here, what we've studied. Let's change it back to dollars. Now let's look at some other formats as well. Let's say I want to change the format over here. So I do a right click, format cells. And for date, let me select this. So now my date starts appearing like 10th Jan 16. Now let's look at the different options in the format cells dialog box. Let's click on alignment. And we're going to change the alignment for this particular cell only. Right now it's horizontal. Let's say if I want to do a left, Because it's just one cell, uh, the difference won't be visible that much over here as what we observed over here. But again, the alignment options are very similar to what we saw over here. Using this particular orientation box over here, we can change the orientation. Let's see. Now let me just do a Control Z. Okay. Now let me just type some more data. Let's do a right click, format cells. Font, again, this is very much similar to what we saw over here. You can change the font type. You can select whether it needs to be regular or italic or bold italic. Then you can select the size over here as well. You can also select which color font you want, whether you want it to be, let's say, let's color it. So now you've colored your value over here. Let's do a right click, format cells. Now let's look at these options, strike through. So you can look at in the preview, as you can see, it sort of adds a line over here. Let's remove strike through. Superscript. Now where would superscript be useful? Now for this ST, I can use the superscript option. I select ST, go on format cells. I click on superscript. Okay. So now as you can see, ST is appearing after 1. So this is one way to use superscript. Let's look at subscript. So let me just select May over here, format cells, subscript. So it reduces the size of May now. Let's look at some more options. Let me type some more data over here. Do a right click, format cells, border. Border, as we saw from the font group over here also, you have got different options. You can select outline, and because this is just one cell, so that's why inside option is not available. But let's select a group of cells. Scroll down a bit, do a right click, and now using this we'll have border for all the cells within the table. Clicking on OK. So you can see that for all the cells you've got a border now. Let's look at the other options. What does this line do? So this will thicken the border, and if I want to color it, I'll have to apply it over here. Now I've got a table which has colored borders. Let's look at other options now. Format cells. Similarly, you can clear the table structure also by just selecting none and then click on OK. So all your table structure goes from here. Now let's do a format cells again. Fill. Now this again is to do with highlighting the cells. So if I use this and click on OK, so it just colors everything over here in the selected cells. Pattern color is, let's take this. Pattern style, you've got different patterns over here which you can select. Let's select something which is more visible, so you can see how it changed over here. Let's click on OK. So these are the different formatting options which can be used to beautify your work. They won't make any changes to the values as such, but they are often used to highlight certain things. Now there is one final option which is there when you click on format cells and you go to protection. Now this is something which we will be looking at in the data protection module. And with the formats now done, the next session we'll talk about conditional formatting. As always, any questions, just drop us an email and we'll get back to you. Thank you.